Hello there, this is the Shadow Ranger, and this is going to be After Immortal number 7. The title of this episode is Everyone is Gunning for Gunner. And what this is basically going to consist of is possible feuds for the television champion after the Immortal storyline is over. I based this on one, him still being the champion, and two, him still being heel. Um, Last week on Impact, they kind of teased that he might go into a program with Christopher Daniels. That'll be cool. If he loses the title to Daniels, so be it. But if he makes it out of the Immortal storyline still as television champion, he's now on his own. I'm leaving him as heel, and these are just some potential storylines and feuds that he can get into. Now, what this is based on is each person wants to be the television champion, but each person has their own secondary reason for wanting the title. Some are good, some are bad, some are goofy, and some are more noble. You could do all of these one at a time, but I would actually have the different stories going on, building each character, talking about why they want the title. And sometimes when whoever's facing Gunner for the title at the moment, some of the other two guys will be feuding with each other. And I would really put over their wants and desire to win the television title and be the champion. Excuse me. Put over their desire to be the champion, so they would put a lot of attention on the TV title. So I have 5 guys that I want to talk about. Each guy would be either a face or, with one, a tweener kind of guy, but I'll explain it when I get there. Since this is going to involve fantasy booking, I need to give my disclaimer. I am in no way saying that I can write or book wrestling better than the writers or bookers of any wrestling organization. These opinions are mine and mine alone, and only represent something that I would personally find entertaining. So, the Immortal storyline is done. Dixie has control of the company bag, Immortal is defeated, evil is vanquished, good is triumphed, all is right in the world of TNA. So what happens with our television champion Gunner? Chad Gunner, as I would call him, using his first name. And let's talk about some potential feuds. So, number 1, this will be the one that most people will probably roll their eyes when I say the name at first, but after I explain it, you'll see why. So the first guy on my list is Kurt Angle. In After Immortal number 3, episode 3, I talked about wanting to see Kurt Angle have a long run with the X Division title. I still want that more, but this is just an alternate story that I came up with. It's still a little choppy, but I think it'll work. The gist of the angle of this angle is Kurt Angle. He's finally defeated Jeff Jarrett. He has finally rid himself of Jeff and Karen Jarrett. His life is back on track. And Kurt, being the competitor that he is looking for a new challenge. Kurt has always talked about how he's about competition, achievements, winning, achieving bigger and better goals. But Kurt does an interview where he says, as I look on the landscape of TNA, I've achieved almost everything there is to achieve. There's only so many achievements left for me here. He said he wants to complete something else, an achievement that he hasn't done. He wants to complete the Grand Slam. There is only one recognized Grand Slam champion in TNA history, and that is AJ Styles. For those of you who know, a Grand Slam champion means a person who's won every championship in a promotion. At least a world title, a secondary title, a tag team titles, or maybe 2 secondary titles. A Grand Slam. AJ Styles has been the world champion, X Division champion, TV champion, tag team champion. He's won all the titles. Kurt Angle is close to it. He has held the world title, the tag team titles for a very short time, and he has held the X Division title, although it was for a very short time. Excuse me again. The only championship left for him to win is the TV title. Kurt Angle wants to win the TV title because he wants to complete a goal. His newest goal that he wants to achieve in TNA is to complete the Grand Slam. To do so, he needs to win the television title. So in that promo, he tells Gunner to get ready because Kurt Angle's coming for him. That's simple. Now, we could do more with this feud down the line. When I originally thought of this, I thought about if somebody else was trying to complete the Grand Slam as well. But the only other person I could think of who would need to win the TV title in order to complete the Grand Slam was Samoa Joe. And I thought about that as a storyline, but it didn't really come together very well. But basically, again, Kurt wants to complete the Grand Slam. To do so, he needs to win the TV title. So that's why he's going after Gunner. Crimson. Crimson, it looks like he's going to be feuding with Abyss. I see that ending. Again, as I said before, all the storylines that are going on end at the pay-per-view where Immortal is defeated. When that storyline ends, everything ends. And I imagine one of those possible feuds will be Crimson versus Abyss. So Crimson has defeated Abyss. He's still a young up-and-comer. He's trying to make a name for himself. He sets his sights on the television title. Simple as that. Gunner's the champion. Crimson wants to be the champion. When a feud is around a title, you don't really need any more than that. Now in the process, Crimson going for the title, Kurt Angle going for the title. They may have to have a few run-ins, so we could get a Crimson versus Kurt Angle match, which could be good. I'd like to see how Crimson stacks up to some of the other guys. The third guy I came up with is the Pope. Now, a lot of people want Pope to just be in the main event. I actually think he should be too, but as I look at the Pope, I realize he really hasn't accomplished anything of significance since he's been in TNA. He won the 8-card stud tournament and got a title shot at Lockdown last year, but that was really it. He hasn't held any other championships. So what I would set this up is that the new authority figure, which I would make Sting. He sets up some type of match, some type of number one contenders match, a multi-man match, and to see who gets the next world title shot. And Pope is upset that he didn't get put in the match. So he asked Sting, or whoever the authority figure is, why he wasn't put in the match, and he says, I don't think you deserve to be in the match. You haven't really achieved many accomplishments, Like the guys the guys in the match would be like former world champions, maybe a former X Division champion, former tag team champion, people who've held more championships. And basically the authority figure basically says without saying it, you haven't won any championships. Why should you be considered in line for a world title? All these other guys are former champions. So Pope feels he needs to prove himself. So if he feels like, hey, if I win another title, then I'll be able to get a shot at the world title. So he's mostly seeing the TV title as a stepping stone to the world title, which is what a secondary title is really supposed to be. So he sets his sights on Gunner and the TV title as well. Now again, these storylines are never going to be about Gunner. It's never going to be, I hate you, Gunner. It's, you're the champion and I want to be the champion. Each of these storylines is all based on, I want the title. Doesn't really matter. But we use them to build Gunner up by fending off challengers. We build him up as a heel. He can cheat to win and pull off underhanded tactics to keep his belt. Number 4. This one's a little goofy one, but number 4 is Robbie E. I like Robbie E a lot. I for some reason, there's a lot of people who want to shit on him, and I think he gets so much undeserved shit for a new guy. I really like him, and I think he has some really good potential and could be something really, really good for TNA. A very good mid-card guy, upper mid-card guy. I don't see him as world champion material, but as TV champion, I think that will work. Another reason I don't think he really fits in with the X Division, with what they try to do with the X Division. You know, I know that they like to say it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits, but it is pretty much like an over exaggerated cruiserweight division. And they really want to have all the flippy floppy acrobatic guys in the X division, which I wish they wouldn't do. But Robbie E's really not a flippy floppy spot monkey. And so if that's where they're going with the X division, he doesn't need to be there. He should be going for the TV title. I also think that something that's holding Robbie E back is that he's a heel. I think he should be a babyface. I think that character could do so much more as a face. His reasons for going after the TV title, not just winning the title, but he basically feels like, he and Cookie basically feel like, hey, the Shore is the hottest thing on TV, therefore we should be TV champion. Hey, that's it. He's a little he's arrogant with it. Not overly arrogant, but he's kind of like funny arrogant. I'm the hottest thing on TV, so I should be the TV champion. So he's going after the belt. Very simple. And the last guy on my list is Orlando Jordan. Another guy who I feel gets a lot of undeserved hate. His is along the same lines as Crimson. He's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to get rid of Funk. I mentioned a while back, a couple months ago, I did a video on Orlando Jordan called Re-Gimmicking Orlando Jordan. And I talked about Orlando Jordan after the Immortal thing was over, him saying that he's glad that Bischoff and Hogan are gone because they wanted him to play, because they were the ones who made him play this stupid gay stereotype. That's not who I really am. It's never who I've really been. I'm a wrestler, and I didn't come to TNA to dress in stupid costumes and play up to people's ignorant fears. I came to wrestle. I came to wrestle the best in the world. The best wrestlers in the world are in TNA, and I want to prove myself and prove that I am one of the best. And he drops all that stupid, corny, over-the-top get-up, and he's just a wrestler. I think, you know, I complain about guys not having personalities, but he's kind of the exception. He's the one guy who I think should be a normal dude. He should be all about proving the best. He's trying to wash the funk of the stupid character that he had to play off of him. He wants an achievement, so he'll be taken seriously. He wants to be taken seriously. He's been playing a joke and treated like a joke for so long in his career, and he wants to be taken seriously, and they believe sees winning the television title as something that will get him taken seriously. So that's sort of his thing. Orlando Jordan wants the TV title because he thinks winning it will make people take him seriously. Robbie E wants the title because he feels like I'm the hottest thing on TV, therefore I should be the TV champion. The Pope wants to win the TV title because he believes that by winning the TV title, it'll help him get more shots at the world title. Crimson wants the TV title because he's a young up-and-comer that's trying to make a name for himself in his business. Kurt Angle wants to win the TV title because he wants to achieve the Grand Slam in TNA. He's also, he's a Grand Slam champion in WWE, so he would be the first WWE and TNA Grand Slam champion. So that's an accomplishment in itself too. So, these are all guys that could be on TV each week talking about wanting the TV title. Each guy could feud with Gunner for a couple of months. He could do Kurt Angle for 2 months, Crimson for 2 months, Pope for 2 months, Robbie E for 2 months, OJ for 2 months. And in the time as you building guys up, you find out who you want to be the guy that actually takes the belt from it. Now, that part, I don't know who actually I would have beat him for the title. Maybe there's someone else who comes along later, a newer guy that you want to put it on. But these are 5 feuds he could do. And you could do each match, at least 2 pay-per-view matches with each of these guys. 3 with Kurt Angle, really. It would make it interesting. I mean, just with these 5 guys, I could book Gunner as TV champion and book enough secondary programs in the TV title picture for... With Gunner and these 5 guys, I could easily do a year worth of programs. With these 5 guys as my main guys, with Gunner as the champion, a couple of jobbers for these guys to squash every so often when you need a jobber from the squash, to get yourself an indie guy for him to squash. And I think I don't think it would be hard to come up with like a good 6, 7, 8 months of a title reign for him. So I'm gonna end this here. I can keep this video. Let's see, I'm at 15 minutes. All right, keep this video under 20 minutes. Feedback is appreciated as always. What do you think about these storylines that I came up with for potential challengers for Gunner after Immortal? Do you think it would add more to the TV title? Also, if there's someone that I didn't put on this list that you would like to see. Keep in mind, I made this list with the thought that each of these, that Gunner is a heel, and each of these guys would be babyface or tweener. But maybe if you think Gunner should go face, and then we should send some heels after him, or possibly try to do a heel versus heel feud. Although those rarely have ever worked. Actually, I don't think they've ever worked. Is there someone you would like to see feud with Gunner after the Immortal storyline is over that you felt I should add it to this list? And tell me why. So that is all for this episode of After Immortal. Everybody's gunning for Gunner. Yeah, this is the Shadow Ranger. Thank you for listening. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TJSMITH3. Send me some good questions so I can do my next Q&A video. Have a nice day.